How's it going, my pool player friends? Adam here for another video. This is a 10-ball set that was recorded against my friend Matt on December 15th of 2024. This was right as I'm starting to feel better. I'm not going to go over the whole thing. I'll put a link to the video kind of explaining the first 5 minutes of this video. Explains what I was going through health-wise. But anyway, let's get over to the table and just get this thing started and kicked off. And here we are, 10-ball. Race to 7. I'm giving Matt 3 games on the wire leg for break. We both crushed it, and I think I'm going to come out behind in this one. Matt wins the leg, Matt wins the break. I believe we are playing early 10s. 10s do not count on the break, but 10s in a combo, as long as it's called, do count if we get to there. We'll talk about it when it happens. Matt barely made, oh, he's going to make the 6. Usually those 2 balls behind the 1 ball are the ones that will go towards the sides. He almost made the 8. Did make the 6. Has actually made the 1 as well, and has no shot. We are playing push-out rules, so he can push anywhere on the table he wants, and then my choice would be to either play the shot or give it back to him. I'm kind of looking to see if he has a little sliver of the 2 like through here, but I don't think he does. There's not a great place to push here. I think I would almost push like right on top of the 9 ball. Because if you push anywhere down here, I can just play the 2 into the rail, stop the cue ball here, and it'd be a great safety. Other thing he could do, oh, maybe not. He might be going at this, trying to get a hit on it. Like 1, 2 rails into it, call the 10 up here maybe? I don't know, we'll see. He's going to do basically what I was saying with the 9. He's going to make the 8, leave the cue ball on that same angle. But I think he gave me enough of it and enough of the cue ball that I can jack up and just play a stop shot, play the 2 like over here. Leave the cue ball behind the 10 there. I'm calling it in the side just in case it goes in, although I don't want it to go in. But at least if it does, I'm at the table. However good that'll do. Yep, just like that, slow down. I didn't really want it over the pocket because now he has a 1 rail kick this way. But we'll see. So how's everyone doing out there? I have been putting videos out every 5 days. I did fit one in, and I'll put a link to that up here, where I gave the Ghost a spot in a game of 8-ball, or a race match of 8-ball. Check and see how that did. I also had a kick safe video. Did actually better than I thought it would. And in fact, as soon as YouTube lets me put another card up here, I'll put the card up for the kick safe video. Usually it's like 30 seconds or so between videos. Matt poked at that one a little bit, hit it right into the rail and into the 4, and gave me ball in hand. Now ideally I'd want to be about here for the 3, just to drift it a little bit up, play the 4, come back for the 5, and the rest of the rack kind of plays itself. I don't really like drawing this, because it's really easy to underhit it, as you see. Kind of like following that. I don't know if I really had a great place to follow it though, with how close it was to the side, to the left rail. So now I kind of have to punch this off the rail and back, which is a shot I do like and I'm good at. So I think Matt's talking to me about climate change and world peace and what his favorite brand of hot dog is, probably, I think. I'm telling him it has to be Nathan's, probably. Ballparks are okay. The Oscar Mayer bun length ones are okay too. I got really good angle on this 5 to come over for the 7. I can do this multiple ways. I can bounce off the rail and out. I can leave it over here. I can probably even just do almost like a stop shot, just kind of drop back a little bit. Plenty of ways to do this. Or, oh boy, Yeah, that was the idea, but I don't know who put that side pocket there. Yeah, I'm gonna give the point a little pat on the head for a good boy. Made this a little bit harder than I needed to. I like drawing this out. I know a lot of people will follow this over here and play the 9 up here. I like putting myself right behind the 10 ball because that's probably the best thing to do. I do not remember this match. It actually was 2 months ago today that it was played. I'm recording this on February 15th, if anyone cares. Or narrating this, I should say. Match was on December 15th, right before the holidays. So I'm basically just going for a hit, trying not to sell out the game. Didn't turn out horrible. Matt has a bank back in the side. He has a couple different safeties he could play. Knowing Matt, he's going to go after this, and I don't really blame him. The safety is really weird here because you have to play it kind of thin into the rail and down, and the cue ball has to go here, but then it's heading right towards that pocket. If you can cut it, maybe with a little bit of right English, you could go here, here, and out. I think he's going after it. In the case where the shot and the safety is about the same, I say go for the shot. As far as difficulty level goes, he under hit it, get in there, get in there, get in there, get in there, and he scratched. That's probably not going to be good for him. Looking at I got a new chair here. I don't know if you noticed. It's a Flex-A-Spot. My old one is a Herman Miller Aeron, and I'm going to give that chair to my wife and get rid of her chair, and I got this one. It has like 3D arms, and hopefully that's annoying enough on mic as it is in person. I don't know why they put the clicks in there. I don't really need it. But anyway, I'll stop playing with the chair now. I am up on the board at 1. Matt is up 3-1. Again, we're racing to 7 here. I got both side balls to go in. Decent pop on the cue ball. It would have stopped there if it wouldn't have gotten kissed. And this is kind of weird because the 1 might go on the side. I don't think it goes, so it goes here. I don't think it goes past the 10 here. If I play it in the side, I could drift down and get on the 2. Otherwise, the 2 is kind of hard to get on. I may actually go at the combo here, playing the 1 off the rail into the 10 and playing the cue ball to get over here safe in case I miss, or when I miss. General idea, and I think I did not get him. Ice water, straight from the fridge, filtered tap fridge thing. And just finished my last dose of prednisone for my sinus infection that I had, and water tastes dry. Figure that one out. Matt is kind of stuck here. I would play safe, try to get the cue ball over here. The 1 ball is going to naturally go here, but the problem is the 1 ball can leak out. Matt may try banking this. He has a short cue. I think he just called the bank. Nothing wrong with this either. I tend to play more safeties if I'm not sure early on in the rack. He almost got it. The problem with it is if you miss it, you sell out a shot. So if I look to bank that 1, I'm going to try to play the cue ball in a more safe manner. Now, as it is, I'm jacked up over the 5 here. I don't really have a great place to play the 2. Unless I do that. That was pretty fancy. 2 goes straight up now. I want to follow and get just get around the 9 here for the 3. Depends on how straight it is. I could follow through the 9 or between the 9 and the rail. I don't think I have that angle. Yeah, just float 1 rail. No reason to overdo that. If you punch that ball, it's really easy to miss. Those are not my favorite shots, shooting past the side pocket. Here I'm just gonna kind of stun this over and play the cue ball like here. Or miss. And get kind of accidentally safe, kind of. I got kind of pokey at that one. Matt doesn't have a great shot here. The safety is kind of weird, trying to play it over here, or even play the 3 ball up and play the cue ball behind the 7. It's really touchy because of how close the 7 is to the rail and how close the 3 is to the 7. I may go, if I think I can get around the 8, I may play on the right side of the 3 here and go around here. Just kind of tuck the 3 in on the rail. I don't know if he was trying to cut it there or not. I will say, this was middle of December. Matt has really smoothed out his stroke, in part to some of these videos that I will take full credit over. No, actually, Matt and I have been working on that. He's been working on it alone. He has a really slow backstroke, and then it kind of just accelerates way too fast through the ball. He had a match at Leagues, I want to say about a month ago, that he just, everything was clicking for him and everything was really smooth, super smooth. He was running out, he was winning games, and we kind of destroyed our opponents. I wanted to go back and forth over here to wind up somewhere here, and I didn't. I went under it, and I still have a shot. This would be a great place to play a safety if I wasn't comfortable with the shot, but I think I'm going at the shot here. Yeah. Kind of fast on the, not really a pause. What I tend to do is I do 3 warm-up strokes, pause on the cue ball, and then slow controlled backswing to foreswing. I did not do that. I don't really have a way to make the 7 and get on the 8 unless I cut it with a whole bunch of right and try to go right into the 8 ball. Instead, I'm banking the 7, bring the cue ball over here, and if I miss, I'm hopefully getting kind of safe. Like, that's not terrible. I was hoping if I missed it, I would miss it worse, I guess, because then maybe the 7 comes over here. As it is, Matt is pretty good at these shots. He pretty much just has to make it and should get some kind of leave on the 8. It's not a straightforward leave, but I would just play this with center ball. I tend to play these a little bit inside, and it would be left spin in this case, to kind of spin it and just go straight up, probably not into the 9. He crushed it though. I mean, he had a good angle and a great shot, but he basically has the same exact shot, only on a worse angle on this 8. Again, if he can make it, he should be able to get on the 9. The only thing he has to worry about is getting like in this line on the 10. If he plays with a touch of right spin, it'll come off more in this way. Does make the shot harder because the spin can't be, he can't hit it as hard as he did in the 7. I might go center ball, kind of whack at it and go all the way up. That's not an easy shot either. Yeah, you could tell he jumped up because you could tell he knew he missed it. So that was one of those where the announcers on the pro side will say, "Oh, he jumped up on that shot," and where I know and Matt knows that he jumped up because he realized he missed it. Like the second the cue ball took off, the second the tip hit his cue ball, he knew he missed it. He jumped up kind of out of frustration. But trying to cut a ball that thin, that hard, that's kind of what happens. I got a little short here. I'm probably just going to come around a little bit upper left, come around here and out. Somehow like that. Sam, I've been working on my straight lines, not successfully. A little too hard, but still in a good spot. And again, I'm going to say it in every one of these videos that comes up. Put the 10 ball or your 9 ball or your 8 ball somewhere in here and practice shooting it from all over the table. And you will get out on these shots a lot more often than you'll miss them. So Matt kind of handed me another 3-ball. Well, the first one was a 2-ball out. The second one was a 3-ball out. Looks like Matt's been leaning up against the concrete wall there. This break was nowhere near as good as the first break. I did not make anything. The 10-ball went flying though, so something kicked that. And I left a pretty good table, depending on what you consider good. I was asked by 2 people, and I'll name them because they have commented on these with their real names before. Sam and Bruce, both from Romines, about if I could mention what spin. I know a lot of videos they'll put like a little cue ball up here with a spin on. That's a lot of work, and I'm not going to do that, especially because I may be wrong, because I'm not really remembering exactly what I did in these matches. We do have the measle ball, so you can tell a little bit better what spin is being put on the ball. Here, I really like the upper left and make it and spin out 2 rails and come out here. Matt just played a straight top ball, which is fine. It's a matter of preference. I like going into the second rail because it kind of cuts off the angle, or cuts off the speed and controls the speed a little bit better. Now, if Matt wants to go with the 10-ball, he should draw this out here. If he wants to go at just the 3-ball, I think he's going to go into it here. Oh, boy. That's rough. Yeah, I like drawing that and not going anywhere near the 3-ball. So if you're playing it here, you draw. If you hold it, it can stay here. Otherwise, you draw with a little bit of more speed, and it comes out over here. I don't like the 10-ball combo here. I can't remember if we're playing early 10s or not. Some of the tournaments we play are early 10s, some of them aren't. Some of them aren't. Some of them aren't. So it kind of depends on what mood we're in or what we're playing. We'll be like, early 10s? Sure. So I'm going to go for the run out here. Part of the other reason that I like to go for the run out is because I haven't really been in rhythm yet this match. The first game I got a 2-ball out. Second game I got a 3-ball out. I like to get more in the rhythm of shooting and making balls and just getting warmed up and getting, in the flow of things. That was terrible. I can't tell you what I was trying differently. I know I had to come in between the 7 and 8 here, but not on the 8. And now I'm in a spot where I'm probably going to have to play safety. This is cuttable, but the cue ball is probably going to go into the 9. You know what? Maybe this is a shot to go after. Otherwise, I can play safe. I can bank this, call it here, hopefully miss it, and have it come up and leave the cue ball over here somewhere. Can't tell what I'm doing right now. Okay, I did cut it. I played that with center ball with a little bit of left, which would have been inside spin at that point, knowing it was going to go into the 9 and just kind of hoping I had a shot. If I went straight into the 9, it would have been perfect. It went a little bit off. It's hard to go straight into the 9 or into the ball like that when you're putting a lot of spin on it. Here I have almost the same shot that I just had, except for it's not on the rail. So I'm going to play this with a little bit of top, a little bit of inside, just to hold the angle, and I missed the shot. That is a problem with slow rolling those with inside. That is hard to say, because you have to, when you hit it harder, you have to adjust for the squirt of the cue ball. When you hit with left spin, the cue ball automatically goes to the right. And then depending on the length, the shot can swerve back to the left. If you're slow rolling those and you don't adjust your aim, that's what happens. You undercut it. Looks like Matt might be going for the carom on the 9. The only problem here is he has to watch out for where the 6 is going to go. Looks like the 6 might be a natural to just come up one rail. So cue ball is going to go into the 9. 6 is going to kind of come up here. Don't want to hit this too hard, so you don't want to get the cue ball, the 6 ball too far away. That 7 goes, he's on a little bit of a rough angle here. I think he hit that a little hard. I think you actually want to slow roll that ball. He's going to have to play this with some top inside. This is a really easy shot to shoot right into the rail, because you're avoiding the scratch here, and you're more worried about the scratch than you are making the shot. It's hard to tell from this angle. I would have to be down on the table to see if he can beat the scratch or not. The worst thing would be if he hits this point and the ball comes this way. It doesn't look like he's cueing very high up on the ball though. Great shot. Matt, I would say if you cue up a little bit, like a full tip higher on the cue ball, you get way over here more. But that was a great shot. He's going to have to go up and down the table here. Basically center ball. If he puts a touch of inside on it, he can come up this way and basically go right where the 8 ball is. He did put side on it because you could tell because he twisted his wrist right at the end there and left me another 2 ball out. This one is nowhere near as easy as the other ones because I think both other ones were ball in hand. This one I have to try to find a way to power draw this back or like rail first, spin it in and come around this way. Neither shot is easy. I prefer the draw on this. This is a matter of preference on your shooting style. I got really good. I thought I was going to have to hit the rail on it, but I got really good on that one and just drew it straight back. Giving your opponent 2 and 3 ball out, not recommended. But I'm going to take it. And I have caught up to the spot here. Now, you will notice I have the Fargos in the bottom. As of today, which is February 15th, I'll probably post this one on the 20th. Oh, I'm calling timeout. We must have had our standard barbecue lunch and halftime bathroom breaks and refill waters and stuff. So I took a lot off that break because I was trying to get more control on the cue ball. I did make one of the 4 railers. But anyway, what I was saying is something I forgot what I was saying. You will notice if you look up my Fargo today, it is 627. That is because I played in a tournament on a giant dose of prednisone with blurry vision, excuse here, insert excuse here. I did fairly well. I won 2 and I lost 2. But the 2 matches I lost to were guys who were in their 500s. And because of that, my Fargo dropped from 635 to 627. Here, I just played a safety, played the 1 into the 4, played the cue ball over behind all this. I only played the 1 into the 4 because I knew it would stop around here. Matt has a tough kick. I would go 3 rails behind it and call it on the side. And if you get really good on it, you hit it really thick, the 1 can miss and come over here and the cue ball stays right around this area. Only thing I don't know is if he has to go on this side or on this side of the 3. Other shot, I don't know if he has. The other shot he might have is go here, here, and directly at the 1. But I think the 3 railer that I drew out is a little easier, and I think it's a little more on. It looks like he's going to the right, our right side, or his right side of the 3 on this side. Yeah, a little too high. Makes 10 ball for good measure. Does not count, we just spot it. I get ball in hand because he missed the 1. What I need to do is I need to get on this side of the pocket line of the 3 so I can float over for the 4 in this side. I don't think I got there. In fact, I'm pretty sure I didn't get there. I might be right on, yeah, maybe a little bit. A little bit on the wrong side of the pocket line. So what I'd like to do is hit the 3 here and just have the cue ball naturally go up this way. As it is, I go a little bit further over. I take the 4 here. 5 is going to go in the lower right. I do have to watch the 8 ball here. I do not want to hit the 8. I want to be able to hit it off the rail and out. So I'm going to use a little bit of upper left and hopefully avoid the 8. Doesn't look like I'm using that much top. Okay. Instead, I knew I was going to hit the 8, maybe I couldn't avoid it, and I just went into it solid. That's dangerous because you can double kiss off it. You can also go on the wrong side of it, but I got pretty good there. This is pretty much just a like a stop shot, stun shot over. I don't think I wanted to be that far over. Now I have to contend with the 10 or draw straight out and back. You can see I'm wrinkling my eyebrows here. I could go into the 10. That's really touchy. That's not bad though. It looks like that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, just going to use the 10 as a stopper. The guys up in Oshkosh, a varsity club, have a sound clip that's, or maybe it's, you know what, it's Mad Apple in Appleton, Wisconsin. They have a sound clip from somebody that says, every ball is a rail. Because you can use balls as, I call them stoppers or whatever. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay. Looked like I was doing something else. I had a really long bridge. Putting chalk marks on the table. This is kind of a weird shot because I need to both stun and follow with a little bit of right spin. I don't want to go straight into the pocket, obviously, so I want the stun to take, and then the follow to take, and then for it to come down like this. Okay, I did what I was talking about with no follow. That was more of a, I don't know what that was. That was weird. Looks like I poked at that pretty bad. I don't necessarily understand what that was, but it worked. I mean, I'm on the rail and I'm pretty straight, but I still have a shot. I should be able to come out 2 rails and up. Cheat the pocket a little bit, play it to this side. Come up for the 10. Predator, you need to put little pockets for the extensions in your hoodies. That would be great. This hoodie does not have any pockets, and I ended up putting the extension on the rail. All right, I am up. That was a much better run. I'm up 4-3. Still breaking. Let's see what we got here. And I slammed my thumb into the rail as I broke. So I broke and hit my thumb into the rail of the table. My table, I actually measured it, and I'm showing Matt the chunk of skin I took off. It's healed by now, but that's not pleasant. I did measure with just using my Q, the unscientific method. My table's about a ½ inch taller than a standard like gold crown or diamond table. I don't know if that's a home table thing that they did or just this model. I cannot, the legs are not adjustable. They're like the claw, dragon claw legs or whatever, so they're not adjustable. And every once in a while I will catch my hand on the rail when I break, or my thumb even, and it does not feel good. So here, I try to play safe to justify that. I'm bleeding all over the place, so I'm going to go try to figure out what to do as Matt shoots. What I wanted to do is I wanted to leave Matt behind the 2 here. That would have been pretty evil. Yeah, it's one of those like, I used to play drums as a kid. Any drummer knows if they ever smack themselves right in the nose with a drumstick on accident, especially if it's cold out. It's kind of the feeling you get when you slam your hand into the table, or hit your hand with a hammer to see how it feels. I don't recommend that. Or if you're pulling a pool ball out and you get your thumb and the pool ball stuck between the rail and the slate, that feels great too. I think Matt's calling this in the lower left. I don't know if he's calling it because he thinks he can make it, or he's just, oh, he was actually going after it. That was real dangerous because he could have come off the 2 and scratched there. So I'm going to try not to bleed all over my table. I do pride myself in having a clean, messed up pool table like a lot of the pool halls will have. I mean, there's more than one way to get on the 2 ball. if I drew that out beforehand, I don't think I would have put that down as how I would have shot it, but I'll take it. And I'm going to call timeout here again because I'm going to go get a Band-Aid because my finger's bleeding all over the place. All right, and we are back. I cut out a bunch there because I went up to get a Band-Aid, and for some reason on the original video I did not speed it up like I do in between racks. So I am not bleeding all over my table now. We are shooting the 2-ball. I think I have to jack up a little bit and stun this over because I don't want to go into the 8s. Although it looks like I'm shooting this to go into the 8s. Yeah, that was kind of a mess altogether. I guess you lose a lot of accuracy jacking up off the rail like that, especially over a pocket. I don't know that the 3 passes. I think I'm probably talking about having to take the 10 combo here, or ideally I'd like to play this safe. So if I miss, so I think I might follow this over here. The 3-ball is going to go down here. Hopefully the 10 goes in. It's kind of what I had in mind, but I shot 100 miles an hour, 10 went in, and we are playing early 10s because I took the win there. Now, we didn't just decide at that shot. We decided it before the match. It just happened to... I didn't have a note on whether we were doing it or not. So I'm taking a lot off my break, especially since I'm a little gun shy of losing part of my fingers to the rails. And if you can see down here, it's like a fancier, not just a standard, pool hall like a Gold Crown where it just has the metal little rim. These are actually, it's all wood, and there's ridges in there, and one of them is a little sharp if you happen to nail your finger on it. So I'm just a complete mess this year, aren't I? All right, so I need to get from the 3 to the 4, and that is a key shot in this rack, and the rest of it kind of plays itself. If I was where the 8 was, I could play the 3 in the side and just follow over for the 4. It looks like I'm drawing back. Maybe trying to get that same... I kind of like going forward here instead. I don't know if I like this or not. I tend to decelerate that stroke on the foreswing. So backswing is smooth, and I tend to decelerate there where I'm trying to like pinch draw that ball off the rail out and hold it. I would have liked to follow this 2 rails and try to come out for the center angle. As it is, I just got to stun over and make this ball, which I did not stun over, nor did I make the ball. If I would have had if I would have made that, the 4 shot would have been tough. I might have actually taken a safety at that point, but yeah, we'll see. Matt's in a pickle here because he has to hold for the 4 up here. So he's just gonna play the cue ball here and just kind of take his medicine on the floor. Ideally, you'd want to be out here for a little bit more of an angle, but he didn't really have much. As you saw, he was pretty straight in. Now, if you try to punch this and try to leave the cue ball out, it makes the shot much more missable. I kind of like just doing top and trying to get the cue ball over the side pocket so you have a little bit more to cue on when you're playing the 7. Oh, he was able to get way out. That was a great shot. I didn't think he had that much angle to be able to get this far off the rail, so that was really good. Here, depending on the angle, he could come out one rail and out, or he could just kind of draw it back. Or just stop it. Problem with stopping it there, now, you know what, let me hang on here. I'm going to try to rewind this. All right. I like to call this putting more work into an easier shot to make the harder shots easier. So we already know that Matt just shot this in and stopped the cue ball here. The problem there is now he has this 8 ball. I don't think he can go around the 10. He's going to have to like power draw this way to try to get back on the 9. If he puts more effort into the 7 ball shot, which is relatively straight in, to either stun, cheat the pocket a little bit, stun up the rail, or force it in and go out here and get closer to the 8. Then he has a much more workable leave. And when he gets from the 8 to the 9, it's not that big of an issue. So we'll just keep playing this. I'm not going to try to fast forward back. We know he plays a stop shot here. I might even be tempted to power draw this all the way back here. It's dangerous with the 8 there, with the 10 there. But he's in trouble here. It looks like he has an easy shot, but he's really kind of in trouble. It's possible he can, obviously 8's going here. It's possible with just straight topspin he can avoid the 10 and come around here. In which case, it's not terrible. The scratch is big if he hits a 10 at all. He has to put a lot of top on it. Doesn't look like he's queuing very high on the ball. Okay, I take back what I said. He made a great shot. He needed a little bit more, but he's still on that. I take back a lot of what I said, but those are situations where with 4 balls left, you're like, oh, all I have to do is make the 7 and I'm good on the 8. And I see a lot of bar table players do this because there are 7-foot tables and the shots are much closer together. But if you work extra hard on those easier shots, it makes situations like this much easier. Like imagine if you could get here or here. I mean, there's just a lot of different places you can get to make this shot a lot easier. And then because he was a little bit off on the 8, he was a little bit off on the 9, makes the 10. Now granted, he got in a really good line here, but it makes, imagine he ends up here because it doesn't roll as far. Now all of a sudden it's a much tougher shot. Or here, if he goes too far. Doesn't look like he's lined up right here. Yeah, that was pretty brutal. It didn't look like he was lined up for the pocket. It looks like he was lined up exactly where it was, where it shot. It still almost went, and there's a lot of tables in this world that will go in on. My table's not one of them. So Matt's given me a 1, a 2, and a 3 ball out. That wasn't with ball in hand, but it might as well have been. And I am on the hill at 6-3. This will be my last break in this match, no matter what happens. Getting good results on like every other break. And this is one where I didn't. Everything's all lined up here. Like a shooting, some kind of shooting drill. I'm assuming the 1 goes past here, in which case all he has to do is kind of drift over for the 2. The window's pretty big there. It looks like he has a tight window to get to, but it's actually pretty big. He does not want to go forward at all. Yeah, it was a little risky going forward because you're going right towards that 8 ball and you could get here and then you're in a ton of trouble. Here I just want to come off the rail a little bit to play the 3 in the side. A little bit too much, but he's still okay. If he can't hold for the 4 in this side, he can just float up for the 4 down here. This is an angle that I would have spent a little bit more time looking at the 4. Like walking around the table and looking at it from this side. Because he followed it more than he stunned it, and now it's a goofy angle on the 4. Because these 3, they're right next to each other, but it's really easy to get a little bit off on one. And now, he got a little bit off from the 2 to the 3, makes the 3 to the 4 even more off. Now the shots are getting harder and harder. He can recover from this, but this is definitely a missable shot now. He shot it really well, but of course, because he had that angle, he went into the 8. Now he has almost the same shot on the 5. It's going to even be harder to get on the 6. And this is what happens in rotation games when you're just actually any game when you're just a little bit off on one leave. You don't give it. Mark Wilson, and I don't want to. Mark Wilson calls it. You don't give the shot the respect it deserves, and I don't want to go that far because we're not. pro caliber players here. But that miss on the 5 started with the 2-ball shot. And if that doesn't make any sense, go back and look at the 2-ball shot and look at the angle that he got on the 3, and then the angle he got on the 4, and then the angle he got on the 5. So it wasn't that he just made a couple good shots and missed the 5. It's actually he got off on one of his first leaves. And because of that, it just... I don't know what I was doing there. I think I was trying to draw it out. I think I decelerated big time on the foreswing, backswing to foreswing transition, and now I'm in the situation where I got a little bit off and I got a bad leave on the 6, and it makes the shot harder. I'm shooting to a blind pocket here because my eyes are going this way or more this way. But if I can make this, if I can miss the 8-ball, I have a natural 1-rail position to come out for the 7 on the side. It should be a good recovery if I can make this ball. Did not make the ball, but I would have been okay on the leave. Okay, not great. I'm on the rail. I'm farther away from it at a bigger angle than I wanted, but I still would have been okay. But again, because I didn't put more effort into the 5 to the 6, essentially I chalked that up as a miss, really. All right, so what do we got here? Matt should just straight top on this and just follow it out. Yep, that's fine. Maybe a little, cross the line a little bit too much. He's still okay. He's gonna be going away from the 8. He could go around 3 rails. He could try to hold it with some top inside. He got a little goofy, actually a lot goofy on this. The shot that I like is playing it here and drawing 1 rail and over. The problem is this side pocket's huge. He could also play it here and kind of just follow around. Looks like he's doing what I said at first. Very nice shot. This one's straight draw with a little bit of right. You want the draw to take first and the right to just help it spin down. If you hit this, if you punch it too much, which means you don't get enough draw, it's going to hit the side rail and come out this way. You do not want that. You want straight, smooth draw. Yep, he punched it. I can't tell where the 10-ball is. It's somewhere under here. He should be good here. Those of you watching the video are kind of wondering what's going to happen. He has an extension. We have a bridge. I think he's going to try to reach this, which isn't terrible, isn't bad. However, and I win the set 7-3. Now, that was rough. I wasn't shooting spectacularly. Matt wasn't shooting great. This is kind of goes, and I'll put a play. I don't know if it'll be a playlist or video link up to how to win or lose playing your B and C game. This was definitely not either of our A games. It probably wasn't Matt's B game. If you count the number of racks he gave me 2. Well, essentially, I would have had to spot the 10-ball and shoot it, but he just conceded. Technically, you do have to shoot that. In pro tournaments, they will probably make you shoot that if there's a referee there. But he gave me 2 1-ball outs, a 2-ball out, and a 3-ball out, and I was giving him a 3-game spot. So immediately, with those 4 games, I'm already caught up and 1 game ahead, and then I just have to shoot and win 3 games, and I'm out of the set. So that was pretty rough. I wasn't sure how many of these videos I was going to publish, but we're going to publish this one and see what you guys think. Let me know what you think. How much 10-ball do you play compared to your 8-ball and 9-ball? How much 10-ball have you played compared to any game? Don't forget to do all the YouTube stuff, you know, like, subscribe, give me a comment, share, watch all the videos, and do all the other stuff. And I'm not sure what the next video is, but until next time, have yourselves an amazing day, and we'll see you soon.